Indeed, HH. Good
Yeah,
evening.
guys. Yes, it's me. It's Double H. It's the kid. 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 So, guys, on the menu for this week's show, I've got a lot of things to discuss, and I think I'm hoping for another great show, another great debate. First off, we have to address Real Madbrick. They are pretty much the main topic to divulge because they just got pimp slapped at their crib by Real Sociedad. That could have been worse. I want to have a frank, real discussion about Coutinho. I want to have a very real discussion about Coutinho, and I want to get everybody's individual views on Coutinho. Then maybe touch a little bit on Messi, but I think the other really big topic I want to address is, of course, the Man City Liverpool fallout and what we think is going to happen with the title race. And maybe we'll touch a bit upon the FA Cup and why I think the FA Cup doesn't have any magic. I don't know what's magical about getting revolutionized 7 or 8-0. That's a waste of my time and a waste of your time. So Rotherham, look,
what about Sevilla?
easy, relax, easy. So let's start off first with and also we may also touch upon some January transfer news as well. I want to touch upon some transfer talk as well. So we'll probably leave that till the end. Let's start off first with Real Madbrick.
Yep.
So this is where I want us to start off with, and I want to see people's views, is who is to blame? What is the issue?
Real Madrid presented.
And okay. So what is the issue? So is Cristiano to blame? Is Perez to blame?
No.
Are the players to blame? What is to blame? So I'm going to start off first with obviously the Madrid man. I'm going to start off first with Red. So Red, tell us, what is the issue here? Who is to blame for Real Madrid completely capitulating and underperforming this season?
See, when people, this is my thing. People always trash Madrid that we don't treat our players right, and this is why you shouldn't always put players like in a high position of power in the club where they actually have a big say, because we stayed loyal with the players that won us 3 Champions Leagues in a row, and we're like, well, they're strong enough to hold the campaign on their own without Ronaldo and all that stuff. And even with Ronaldo, we were still shit. We were still giving a lot of these players passes for real bad performances. And I think now it's just the perfect storm has hit where we're finally losing these games that we were supposed to lose, that we were winning before. We were clutching it. Like there was a lot of games where we didn't deserve to win that we won just purely off clutchness. Now we're getting exposed. We're not clutching those moments anymore. So these players have to hold. We have to hold these players to accountability. They're just not up to. They're not playing up to their standards anymore. They're really not. Like, especially today, the defense was shambles. They can't even score a goal. Like, come on, you're 1-0 down from the first minute. You can't come back and score a goal. Like, we need new players. We have to stop buying these prospects and just hoping that they're going to be the next great thing and just buy someone.
So very briefly. So who would you say is to blame then? Who is the main person?
It's the players. Like the players, they trusted them. They said that they're able to carry the weight of Real Madrid and to a good La Liga campaign and a good Champions League campaign, and they're obviously not up to that standard. Bale's constantly injured. Mariano's constantly injured. Casemiro just came off of injury and just starts a game, and immediately it just showed how rusty he still was. Vasquez has become a starting player. This guy was a sub at best. We've sold all our best players. Just keep on offloading players. We're not buying anybody to replace them except youngsters, and these youngsters still don't have that footballing IQ yet. They're not as experienced. I
mean, anyone that tells me that Lucas Vasquez is a main player, I'm sorry. There's something chronically wrong with you.
He started most of these games. He's starting all these games. It's insane. It's insane, and he's not doing well. He's not scoring. He's not providing assists. All I see is just pointlessly running. We have no finishers in this team. And see, this is why we miss. This is the big reason why we miss Ronaldo. Ronaldo would always, whenever he gets the ball to his foot, he would shoot. It's either a goal or it's going out for a corner. The point is the attack is finished. Now we get in front of goal. All we do is pass to each other. So it just takes one interception and we're exposed on the counter. And we're punished on all these counters because nobody's taking a shot. Nobody shoots. Like, this team has no shooters at all.
Okay, so wait, let me bring in Montar. So Montar, tell me, Who do you think is to blame, and what do you think is the reason for Real Madrid suffering?
First of all, Real Madrid suffering is they're overconfident, and like the way they like literally like allow Ronaldo to leave the club as if like we are not a Ronaldo team. Come on, this guy has done a lot for you, and even that he was doing for you, and you were so overconfident. And such as Perez and the board, they are not like okay, they are very good businessmen, but they don't know how to run this football club. Because they just keep on selling the players. We sold Morata, we sold Di Maria. Look, we have a history of selling really best players. And secondly, we're not replacing Ronaldo. Come on, man. We could have bought Harry Kane, Mbappe, because we need that poacher to score goals. Look, the problem is not with the defense. The problem is like we are not scoring. And like that scoring is like creating kind of, confusion and kind of insecurity. And based off that, we are conceding the goals. And that's the fact. And look, and one more thing. Today, our best player was 18 years old.
Yeah,
I know he's good. I know he's really best player. Like soon he's going to be like future, Neymar or future whatsoever. But he's going to be good. But right now we need that ready product, such as like likes of Eden Hazard or Icardi or Harry Kane. No, we didn't do that, and this is what we are at fault. And I'm like
so
partially.
So who is to blame? Monta, who is to blame? Who is to blame? Who is to blame?
Both. 70% goes for both and 30% for the players. This is what I feel.
Okay. So let me go to Mane. Mane, what is the issue with Real Madrid? What is the issue? What is going wrong? Who do you think is to blame, and can they be saved?
I mean, it's not surprising, really. Zidane is the reason they were on top all that time.
So it's not Cristiano. It's all Zidane. He was all he's doing.
Yeah. Cristiano is just a tap-in merchant. I mean, there's
easy. Let's speak. Let this dude speak.
HA is getting excited.
He helps the team, yeah, but I mean, he doesn't make the team on his own. So I think it's really a change in the manager. So Zidane leaving, that it leaves a big hole, and also people have to remember you can't be on forever. So it's gonna come to an end at some point. Maybe it's the end of an era at Madrid. Maybe this is when they go back to being losers.
Okay, easy. Okay, fine. You've crossed the line there. Forward.
I mean, the Real Madrid fans already put it best. I think Red made a really good point with Ronaldo. Even though, I mean, he is just a tap-in merchant, and don't get me wrong, if he was there right now, he wouldn't make much difference to the team because he has clearly regressed. Having somebody like that who does shoot on sight does kind of help Real Madrid's style of play, just because they like to put in a lot of cross into the box.
Yeah, Benzema's a bomb. Yeah, currently.
Oh, he's a big bomb. I mean, I said 8 goals max, and I think he's only maybe got like 5 or 6.
Look, forget the guy. Just Karen.
But yeah, just to end on one point, because again, I got really not much else to say. Just it's clearly Perez that's at fault. He's obviously got to be the one who holds the most. He's got to be the one who's held the most accountable for this, because they didn't reinvest in the squad. Clearly, when you let go of your best scorer, you got to replace him. So he's the one who's got to hold the most responsibility for this.
Okay. Hardcore.
So for me, I think it's Perez, because for me, he showed no love to CR7 when he scored the goal against Juventus in the quarterfinals last season, and that's what the cause of the whole thing. Showing love to CR7 when he scored that goal against Juventus, What? And because of that, because of that, this is what Real Madrid is. I'm serious.
Just finish your point.
Okay, my point is, real talk, because I let every Real Madrid fan know this last season, that because of that, not caring about him and not really showing love to him, that's what's going to happen. Look at us. We're showing love to Messi. Look at Man City. They're showing love to Aguero. That's what happens. Karma comes back at you. So, yeah, that's all I got.
All right, Hazem.
Yeah, I also think it's Perez. I mean, exactly with how you can't just sell Ronaldo and not replace him. And you saw today with the example of when Bale is injured, you can't replace him with anyone. You have to put Vasquez on the wing. So you didn't have any options even to have because that Bale is injury prone. So that he's not going to be an adequate replacement, and he didn't have anyone to be a valuable sub to him. So Perez just messed it up, and Vinicius Junior, he's good, and he should have earned that penalty.
For sure. I mean, no. Side
note, he's not ready still.
No. Side note. Spanish refereeing is the worst on the planet.
100%.
Yeah,
You
even
literally-
I agree.
No, because
I
can I say
agree.
one
I
thing?
agree too.
of course.
You have VAR.
Also in the Getafe versus
So people in a VAR booth, you saw that where you saw contacts being made, and you said nothing to the referee.
Exactly. It's the same thing that happened with Sevilla versus
Matthew
Atletico.
Lahos is the worst referee ever.
No,
yo.
no,
I'm
no,
serious,
no.
bro.
Spain have had the worst in the world. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, Jujuman.
It's I blame the players because I mean Sergio Ramos had the courage to say that he doesn't want Conte. I mean, who does Sergio Ramos think he is? And the Lopetegui, I mean, we all knew the guy was set up. Like he didn't do anything wrong, and he was fired because the players didn't like him. I mean, this is the consequences. So I blame the players. And as for Florentino, I don't know who's in charge of this club, but I mean, players do not tell you what to do. You're the one that's in charge. You tell if the players don't want to listen, then sell them. I mean, and so I blame the players mainly, and Florentino second.
Okay, Pablo.
That penalty, man. I what did they put VAR for? I mean, that's like the first thing that they have to use for that because, but that doesn't matter. But anyways,
Yeah.
I think it's Perez because they didn't sign anyone to replace Ronaldo, and although they are signing youngsters, that's not going to help them now. Maybe in the future, like Vinicius Jr. when he played today, but in the future that they bought Brahim Diaz, who is good.
Who?
Brahim Diaz.
Yeah,
Currencies.
Yeah. So I feel like it's Perez because he didn't replace the players that he didn't replace Ronaldo. So but yeah, I think it's Perez.
Okay. Saswat.
Obviously it's a chain of disaster class, and on top of that chain is Papa Perez, because Perez is actually the one who is in charge of getting a manager who has a perfect set of system, perfect set of rules, and for that set of rules you don't have players. And even if you have this even if you have whatever set of players you have to make them play under the system that the manager wants to, because if you see today's game, there was no cohesion. If you are putting in a cross and then there is no one to get into that cross, Benzema is playing as a false nine. I don't know why. They have players. The defense. Each of these defenders have no positioning intelligence of where to mark, how to get not allow the defenders to get past the ball.
So who's to blame? Who's to blame?
How is this Perez's fault?
Perez.
Perez actually no. The factor you stated, that's not Perez's fault. That's
no. The Perez actually listen. Here's the thing. Perez actually bars a manager who has a perfect set of system, and he cannot convince those players to play in that system.
Well, can I just say one thing just before we end this subject? How can you guys all blame Perez if Perez is trusting these players? The thing is, he can't just simply if Madrid are put in a predicament where if we offload these crap players, we are looked at, or look how you're treating their star players. Madrid never treat their players well, and if we keep them,
no.
Red. I mean, Hazard was.
It's not that simple. Wait. This is the issue here. Everybody knows that's why Zidane left after the third Champions League.
Exactly.
Yeah. Zidane said, "You know what? I believe that these guys are at the end of their run. I've taken these guys to where they are. This team is not built for a league season. It never was. This team is built for the Champions League. Like when you wait, easy. Okay, I'll give it the floor, but let me just land.
I agree.
This team isn't built for a 38-game season. That's what Barcelona, Atletico Madrid are built for. They're the only two teams that this is a 38-game season thing. So, and I think what's it called? I was listening to what Game Babalege was saying, and this is like a journalist, and I was saying, you know what? Real Madrid have never really been playing well, especially in the league. They've just had situations where Zidane was the perfect coach for what they had. They had Cristiano, the goal scorer, and they had Zidane, the puppet master and the mastermind, who perfectly understood how to tap into this place. And also, timing. It may just be a thing where I can see Modric right now. That World Cup took everything out of Modric.
That's true.
He doesn't have the legs on Benzema. he's out of it now. So when you look at guys who are pretty much over the hill now, you need to bring in something new, and this team is badly in need of some new injections. So if you're and you hold the checkbook, and you're not willing to say, all right, new coach, there's your check. Tell me the targets you want. We are Real Madrid. We get first dibs on anybody because we are one of the biggest clubs in the world. Tell me who you want. We will get that out. We will get that.
Give us names.
They can't compete now. Double H.
Let me. So
wait. I'll go to Red, Jujuman, then Mane. Red.
But here's my retort. So at the first thing for the manager. Perez tried to get a great manager in Conte, but guess what? The players, Ramos, vetoed it. So because if the players aren't going to willing to play, you're going to put in the middle of the season. That's a big problem. So you couldn't get Conte. So that's one. The second thing is Real Madrid not being built for a league season. I disagree with that because if you look at our past history in the past 9 years, we have got 90 plus points every season bar 17-18. That was only last year was a bad season. Every other season we get 90 plus points in the league. Just
but that makes you a philosophy.
One at a time.
Sorry. So Barcelona always are just better than us those seasons, and they always beat us by like 3 points. For example, in 16-17 we won. 17-18 last season they won, which we were bad last season. 16-17 we won the league. 15-16 they beat us by 1 point. By 1 point, we are built for a league season. These players, Barcelona, just have that. They always were better than us. Just that much better than us every season. So I just don't feel like we can win these leagues. The issue is that these players have to lose some of that power. We have to spread out the squad. Like you said it. Like it's at the end of the run. Zidane knew it. Everybody knew it. Like these players just have to disband. We gave them 1 season out of loyalty. Here you go. Here's your chance. Whoever can play well can stay on the squad. Here you go. Everybody who's not playing well, replace them. We have the money. We haven't bought players for 5 years. Since 2013-14 was the last season where we spent big.
Rafo, can I say something? Can I say
No, you can't. I'm choosing the people. Okay, Jujuman and then Mane.
And with the player power, I think mainly it's Ramos. I think this was the point with. It was the same thing with Casillas, but with Ramos, I mean. He's the one that looks like he like it's Mr. Madrid. It's they go with what Ramos says because the Conte no one thing Conte is I mean this team would not. It looks like they want babysitters. They just want people that they respect, but are not going to. It's like Zidane. I don't know how with Zidane they respected Zidane, but I mean with Conte is not going to stand their nonsense.
What?
So. Wait, can I speak, Hazem? Is it your time to speak? Can you shut up, please?
No, I don't understand.
Can you shut? No.
Calm down. Chill.
Jujuman, finish your points. I'll go to Mane and hardcore.
As I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by Hazem.
Shut the fuck up.
No. Okay.
Guys, I will not have swearing on this thing. Wait, where the hell did the Jujuman go?
Wait, did you just block him?
He left.
Okay. I'm gonna head to Mane.
I mean, if people are gonna say it's Perez not buying players, I'm not hearing any names. People just saying, "Oh, we're Real Madrid, we can sign anyone," which is really not true. They're very limited. They're not what they used to be. They can't just sign anyone. A lot of players, a lot of big name players are out of the cards, especially from teams like PSG, Man City, even Liverpool. I could say their players are out of the cards. They would need at least 200 million, close to 200 million to get any of their top players. So I'm just curious, who are these players that they're gonna get that's gonna?
We don't need to buy their players. There's a ton of talent in the world.
Yeah. And HH, can I say something? I just want to say one thing.
Who are these talents?
No, these players, the players fit into the system that the manager is playing in. They need to buy those players. Okay. If they get those important.
HH, can I say something? HH, can I say something?
Move on. We need to move on. Because again, we have other topics to discuss. I want to now delve into Coutinho. I want an honest assessment on Coutinho because I seem to be going back and forth with some people about this. I believe he's flopped at Barcelona. I believe that this move is a failure. It didn't go well for him, and he has underperformed, and he's nowhere near worth the ridiculous amounts of cash that they paid they paid for him. So I don't want people to, because again, in my view, I think Coutinho is a very good player, but he's overrated. That's just what I feel. I don't believe that he's as good as what people think he is. I think he's a 10 to 12 game player. He's not a guy. He'll never be a best player in a season for any team. And I just think that people were sold a dream, and Liverpool pulled off one of the great finesses in football transfer history. So
100%.
let me start with Mane. Mane, Coutinho, what's your assessment on Coutinho? Overrated, or he needs time to develop at Barcelona? So
Nah, Coutinho is the real deal. It's easy when somebody has a bad spell. It's easy to kick them down. But honestly, when it comes to the Champions League, you'll see his worth. Like he produces these moments of brilliance. It's almost like Hazard. I mean, half the time is useless, but when he's on, he's really a special player. So I think that's what people need to realize about Coutinho. He's not going to be consistent game in game out, but when he gets in form, when he gets the purple patch, it's going to be incredible. And that's what Barca know. That's why they bought him. Yeah.
All right, Daniel, your thoughts on Coutinho?
Oh, it's karma. Karma.
Oh, come on, man.
Thanks.
Okay, cool. Forward, Coutinho.
Yeah, first and foremost, Mane talking like somebody who's never played the game of football before, as usual. Anyways, on to Coutinho. I actually agree with everything. Shush, I'm talking. Thank you. Now, as you said, HH, I agree with everything you did say. It kind of did show in his time in Liverpool that Mane was actually the better player for Liverpool. He was more consistent through the season, but yeah, I do agree with everything you're saying. Other than the fact that has he flopped? No, he's flopping currently because he's underperforming. And let's say, for instance, I would have maybe liked to have seen Eriksen go to Barcelona. I think he would have been a much better fit with his footballing IQ because Coutinho, he's not gelling with Messi and Suarez that very much. He's dribbling into cul-de-sacs. He's not looking like the player that we maybe thought he could be, the player that we saw at the World Cup. But ultimately, has he flopped? No, because he's flopping currently, but there's still time to pull it around. Again, maybe he can perform in the Champions League, but based on what we're seeing in the league, he's not showing any form that suggests to me that he's going to turn it around personally. I think Barcelona found a really good thing with Suarez, Messi, and Dembele kind of moving in the space between. I think that's a really good plan for them to be going into the Champions League with. Maybe Coutinho can be an impact player, but if he's only going to amount to being an impact player, then if after a year or two, then we can say he's been a flop because ultimately right now he's just not doing the business.
All right, hardcore Barca.
For me, I'm not even gonna lie though. I kind of agree with Ford. I think it was just desperation. I don't even really think it was 160 million. I really do, as a Barca fan, because
how much was it then? How much was it?
For me, I'm gonna give him 40, maybe 34, somewhere around there. Just 34, 40, around there. Because I just don't feel like. I think that's too much money. I think they expected. For me, I think they expected. Listen. For me, I feel like they expected more from Coutinho when he came from Liverpool. I think they thought he was going to be Iniesta's replacement. That is why they gave him the 160 million because it's like, and it is. It actually is mad because it shows you how crazy the transfer market is.
So just tell me, is he a flop? Yes or no?
For me right now, I will say yes. Just because I haven't seen enough of him. He needs to do a little bit more than just long distance shots. And I feel like for me, I think he should, and I'm not gonna lie, but I think if he can pull up something like what Ford said, a Magic in the Champions League, I think he could save his season. That's how I see it.
All right. Okay, so very briefly, Hazem, Coutinho, overrated, or is he a flop, or he can come good for Barcelona?
He's overrated, but he can become good. He still has room for improvement. So he's currently a flop, but he can that can change.
But but how influential do you think he'll be worth 160 eventually for Barcelona, or they overpaid for him?
That's today's market. So eventually he'll be worth that, yeah. Because each year also that amount is gonna become less and less. So in perspective, so he will become worth that.
Okay, Muntaha.
Yeah, first of all, Coutinho is not worth $460 million, something like that. He's like a player like Coutinho, 3 digits. Come on, are you joking me? And secondly, the way he's playing in Barcelona, I don't know which position he plays. Left wing, number 10, number 8, or he's replacing Iniesta, Are you kidding me? You bought
No,
him like
listen, I think it's Valverde.
Iniesta.
Valverde
Wait,
too
easy.
is
One
a
at a time, one
problem.
at a time.
Wait,
Let
one at a time.
Muntaha talk.
Valverde, listen, Valverde doesn't put him in his
Barca, let's Muntaha talk. You can talk
Okay.
after Muntaha. Finish your point.
Yeah, my point is like simply like, okay, he's a good player, but you just bought him to just take a finesse shot. Come on, man. You should have gone for a winger, proper winger, man, instead of Coutinho, because you already don't need Coutinho in the system. You need a proper winger. You have Dembele. You bought Dembele last season. Why you were so panicking to buy him? Because you know that last season he's not going to perform in Champions League, because according to rule you cannot play in Champions League. Now you can play in Champions League if it's January transfer. It's like, to be honest, like they hyped the market, and just because of Coutinho, now they are struggling. Like and like he literally inflated the market price. Come on, player
Okay.
like Coutinho.
All right. Pablo, briefly, continue.
I
Can I
100%
say something?
Wait. Look, we'll go down the line and we'll come back to you, Pablo.
I 100% agree with Monta. I really don't know why Barcelona signed him. I think it was just out of desperation. I think he has the capability to play better than he is to replace Iniesta. That's for sure. And he'll never reach the price tag of 116 or however much they pay.
Okay. I'm ready.
Yeah, just for everybody to know, it's 140 million euros. That's how much he went for, and it's relative because based off that price tag, the flop, because you paid 140 million euros. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of cash, bro. That's a lot of cash.
Yeah. That's worth more than the lower La Liga teams, by the way. So
Jesus.
that's just how much it's worth. So he's never because based off that he's overrated. But the thing is, if he went for like 50, 60 mil, it would have been amazing. It would have been a really good buy. But just based off the price tag, he's a flop. Like you can't buy somebody for 160 mil, 140 mil, and have him on the bench. That's just when he's fully fit too. Like it's not like he's back from injury. He's on the bench.
Oh Lord.
Okay, but that's not his fault.
Hey, look. Okay. Wait. I'm Saswat.
Yeah, it's
continue.
So okay. First of all, let's just get this out of the way. He's not worth of 140 million. Second, just because everyone has unrealistic expectations of what kind of player that everyone wants him to be. Everyone wants him to be as an Andres Iniesta replacement. Everyone wanted him to be an Andres Iniesta replacement when he came to the club, but he was never that kind of a player because Barcelona fucked up in their what they wanted in their system. Doesn't mean that Coutinho is overrated. Now let's get back to his performance. When he was bought in January, he was not qualified to play in the Champions League. He did not play in the Copa del Rey because the second division was playing in the Copa del Rey.
But what about now? We're talking about now. Don't talk about the past.
Yes.
Talk about now.
Okay. So now it's more to do with the fact that Dembele has proved himself better than to do with the fact that Coutinho has become not performing. It's more to do with the fact that Dembele has taken his place.
No.
But Dembele
Coutinho has
plays
been given the opportunity.
Different position, man.
No, because this here's the thing. They are because both of them are playing in the left wing. So at least Coutinho was playing in the left wing before Dembele was started performing in the golden period. So Coutinho was when he saw when Valverde or Messi or whoever in that team saw that Dembele is performing better than Coutinho. That doesn't mean that Coutinho is an overrated player. That means that Dembele is a better player in that position. And because Rakitic has signed
but Coutinho plays left wing, man. Dembele plays right wing.
Right.
No, but Dembele was playing off the left today.
But now.
Yeah, today you can say that.
No. The issue is Sasso, you're missing. The issue is that Coutinho was given opportunities, and he has been given. Dembele hasn't played every single minute of every single game this season. No, he hasn't.
That's true. Yeah.
Coutinho has been given opportunities, and he's just not fitted in as well as the Dembele. So the fact
Dembele is better. Dembele is better.
Dude.
Yeah, he's not worth that money. But Dembele, just because the fact that Dembele is better, even in that position,
what does it have to do with Dembele? No. You're missing the point. This has to do with Dembele. Listen to what I'm saying. Coutinho was given opportunities. Let's just forget about. Don't even bring in Dembele here. Coutinho was given minutes. In those minutes, he just wasn't very effective, and he did not play up to the standard of what you would expect of a £160 million dude and what was expected of him based on the profile of his transfer. This has nothing to do with Dembele. Based on you looking at his performances, he didn't really affect the game. He didn't raise the game. He didn't connect well with Messi and Suarez. So in that point, he's been a flop. So it's got nothing to do with Dembele. Let's just focus on what Coutinho is. For the time you were given, you flopped. Or Hardcore, you wanted to say something?
Yeah. So for me, and I'll say this, a lot of it also has to do with Valverde too. Because for me, I don't think the 4-3-3 fits Coutinho, the way Coutinho plays. If you watch the way Liverpool, he was playing with Liverpool. With Liverpool, it was more of a counter-attacking
Hardcore, you can't change your formation for Coutinho. Sorry.
I mean, I know
you come in. Dembele has come in and he's had to readjust his game to fit in. If Coutinho can't do that, sorry,
he's a versatile player. He should be able to.
Can I also just add that Coutinho, while obviously he needs to improve himself, he doesn't also fit the system or the team that he's playing in because he isn't a left wing.
What I said.
That's exactly what Barca said.
Nobody want to listen to me. It's what I said, bro.
Just to finish. He's actually a number 10. He doesn't play. He can't do the Iniesta role.
Look, the guy's not number 10. Jay. That's just to me. Wait. Wait. We're moving on, guys. We've got a lot to talk about. We have another huge topic.
Okay.
Very briefly, before we go to another main topic, is Messi the best playmaker in the world currently?
Wait, can I go on this? He's the best
football player in the world.
No, he's the best player.
No. I said a very simple question. Is Messi the best playmaker in the world? If he's
obviously he is. Yeah. And secondly, he's the best footballer of all time. Best footballer of all time.
Don't change the subject.
Let's not go there. Because you know how I will reply to that. I just thought let's okay. So good. That's okay. So I think we're all come on, he's the best playmaker in the world.
So you obviously want justification, right? Why he's the best playmaker?
Okay, he's the best playmaker. He's the best playmaker.
He is the best playmaker. He is the best playmaker.
Okay, no, cool. That's what I want to get. Okay, now let's go to another main topic. So Liverpool went to the Etihad and City showed up. Really good victory. We now have a serious title race. So the question is very simple right now. Do Liverpool bottle and unravel and City now reclaim their title, or do Liverpool stand strong and react well? Let me start first with Manny. And Manny, don't you dare gloat. Don't you dare gloat.
I just want to say it's our title to lose. That's all I want to say. It's our title to lose. Liverpool don't have. We're number one in this title race right now. Liverpool might be 4 points ahead, but we're not competing with Liver choke. They're gonna choke as per usual. I told you last time. Liverpool don't know how to keep a lead, and Klopp was furious because.
Okay, so Manny, you're saying Manny, you don't believe that they can react and still keep on winning?
React to what? They have 17 games to draw points. So they're not going to keep lead for 17 games. That's for sure. City, you know how confident we are. Now, it's almost the player mentality now. It's almost like we've already won the league. That's how bad it is. Liverpool, they're going to choke. Guaranteed. Take this to the bank. If somebody wants to bet, put your money in now.
Okay. I'm not a betting man yet. Daniel, can your team react, or is this all over?
We can react, but can I say some stuff? I feel like Klopp, he got some things wrong. Like that game was screaming for a Naby Keita. Like Klopp and Lovren is the most brain-deaded defender.
So why? Why did he start with such a conservative starting lineup? Why?
I don't know. I really don't know. Like City are there for the taking. We're there for the taking. Like Naby Keita that game was screaming for a Naby Keita or Fabinho. Fabinho should have started that game. But I think that if we're not careful, I think what's going to cost us is Klopp's loyalty towards certain players. Like the likes of the Hendersons, like the Milners, the Lovrens. He keeps giving these guys that have let us down so many times chances upon chances upon chances. Instead of saying that you're not good enough, I'm benching you.
Okay, but let me ask you this: so do you blame Lovren for either of the two goals?
Both. He was positionally, he was terrible.
That makes no sense. That makes no sense.
What could he do, really? I mean,
the first goal.
Sane's goal was really hard to defend.
That first goal, Why don't you give credit to Aguero's
Yeah,
brilliant reaction timing? And do you know how hard it was to score a goal from Aguero?
Yeah, he should have been more tighter with Aguero.
What a goal! What a goal!
It's
What
a great goal. I'm not taking anything away from Aguero. I'm saying that Lovren wasn't tight enough on Aguero. If Lovren was tight, he wouldn't have gone in. And the second goal, we were trying to play offside, but Lovren was out of position, and it was out of position. So it was both goals were Lovren's fault.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, let me bring Ford. How do you see this title race going? How do you see the
I
reflection?
think first and foremost, it was a great game of football to watch. Probably the one I've enjoyed the most. Yeah, maybe not the most chances you've seen in a game, obviously not the most goals, but just the intensity. And
it was the best Premier League game of the season.
Yeah, and to see the empty have such an atmosphere like that for 90 minutes was very impressive to see. So, my major takeaway from that game was Liverpool fans are worried right now. They're scared. I mean, as we can see, De Gea's not in the hangout today. He's very worried about, obviously, what this could mean for his title aspirations because he's never seen his team win a league in his lifetime. And, I mean, let's be real. I mean, they could easily go trophyless again this season. I mean,
Listen forward. Let's not talk about the fans.
One time. Ford, talk.
Bro, chill, take a chill. But let me land. So, as I was saying, Liverpool could easily go out of the FA Cup tomorrow against Wolves, a very, very tough game. Obviously, the Champions League, we don't know who could work it up against Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich could come into really good form.
Look, man, don't speak on my boy Noah. Put some respect on my boy Noah's name, man. Give me put some respect.
Also, respect on Robin's name, obviously, the GOAT that is Robin. And also, just the end of the
relax, man. Let's not just lay the cat out of the bag, man. Let's just chill. Leave Robin alone.
This guy's going up.
Look, guys, trust me. Next month, just chill. Next month, just relax. Finish your point.
Also, a quick shout out to Samuel Chukwueze, the Nigerian baller from Villarreal.
Chukwueze.
Oh no, that guy's a G though. I'm not gonna lie.
Look, Ford, finish. Come on.
I wish Ghana had him. Bro.
Hey, chill. Hey, Ghana ain't got no ballers, man.
We got ballers, bro. We got ballers.
Bro, stop shouting, Barca, man. I can hear you.
Not to go on too many tangents. How I feel about the title race, I think Liverpool fans are really worried. They're scared right now, and we're going to see how it's going to be. I think we also should give Pep
who has the momentum now?
Definitely Pep. And I will just end on this point. I think we should also give Guardiola credit if he does win the league, coming from 7 points behind and beating Liverpool in the way that they did.
Oh, for sure. No. If Pep does this, I will give him his credit. I'll say,
also,
this is your best title win.
In the Champions League.
Making the video now have it's
so. Look, man, you've talked, man. Relax, man. Hardcore talk.
Yeah, first of all, Ford, Ghana has ballers. Partey's a baller. And then let me get to my answer. Let me talk about Liverpool and City. For me, I never knew Pep could play defense. I got it all wrong. I thought Liverpool was gonna win it clear. I thought it was over. I never knew Pep could play defense.
No, but that's easy. No, easy. Liverpool didn't come to attack. They came for the draw. So
yes. So for me, I'm very happy that City won. Although I'm not a City fan, I'm really happy. I'm happy that at least we got to see some of the frailties of the Liverpool defense in terms of the things that you can get them on in terms of like weaknesses and so forth. I was happy to see that, and I think this whole Liverpool thing's a hype. That's how I see it. I think it's a hype. So yeah.
Okay, Hazem.
Yeah, man. City are gonna walk the league. It's like
walk the league.
They're gonna win by 10 points minimum.
Tears.
Yeah, it's like they're just giving Liverpool some games to be happy.
You might not disrespect.
Look, they have a winning mentality. De Bruyne's only gonna get better and better, and Liverpool, they're just like they're gonna burn out eventually. I think. Yeah, City's gonna win it by easy.
This is not about what you think. This is about what is right.
Okay, Muntaha.
Yeah, but can you see the future? So you know what's the truth.
Wait, Muntaha.
Yeah, he's a Serie A fan, guys. He's a Serie A fan. Just
start meeting, guys, man. Muntaha.
Yeah, first of all, look. First of all, we have to give the props to the way Guardiola came and the way his team and defense was organized. Okay, and secondly, I completely agree with you. Like, at least Shaqiri should have started this game. Come on, you have to be with that mentality. If we are losing, we lose as a team. But like, and if we win, obviously, like with Shaqiri, your first plan A should be go with Shaqiri and destroy them. At least put the heart in the fear, fear in them. The way
intense,
like, Liverpool started, intense. And secondly, why you didn't start with Fabinho? Look, the way Fabinho came, he was so creative. The passes
know.
he's playing,
No,
and the
wait,
link.
no, wait. Look, see, one second. The key things is someone actually brought this to my. No, someone actually wrote this down on my comments. The three players that Liverpool bought were all on the bench for one of the biggest games of their season.
That is true.
That's insane.
That's why I say that problem. He keeps giving these guys, these like Milners and the Hendersons so many chances, and I'm looking at him funny.
Okay.
That game wasn't a game for Keita though. Maybe for Fabinho, but it wasn't for Keita.
Wait, Munta.
That game was for Keita.
Yeah, one more thing. Yeah, look, the Fabinho, the way he's linking up with Robertson at 75th minute, 80 minutes. Come on, the way he's linking up, he's finding Trent Alexander-Arnold in the deep final third of City. Man, come on.
Okay.
And finally, I just
okay, and then
has been ready.
All right,
Liverpool are going trophyless. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, Liverpool are winning Premier League, man. Liverpool are winning Premier League.
They're going trophyless.
All right, Pablo,
they're winning.
Your thoughts on this?
Saying that to yourself.
I feel like the now that there's 4 points difference. I feel like for a while, it will be 2 points then or 1 point, and then it will go on the very end. And I feel like Man City will get it at the end. That they'll stay strong and hold on to the lead, and they'll end up winning the league for a second time.
easily.
Okay, then Red. How do you see this going, man? Red.
Klopp is gonna smite all you non-believers. Like it's gonna be embarrassing because first of all, how could anybody say that City is gonna walk the league if they could barely?
Thank you, Red.
They barely beat Liverpool. They had it wasn't even the best Liverpool. Liverpool still have options on the bench.
Barely.
They walked the league so far, and they still have and they haven't even peaked yet. They're alive in every competition. So I think we should put some respect on them. They're still
How have they walked
ahead.
the league so far? For the beginning of the season, Man City was leading. We've seen only recently that Liverpool having some.
Come on, Red. Finish your point.
They're unbeaten. They went unbeaten until January. You have to respect that. You have to respect that. Unbeaten until January.
Okay, so Red, you still feel that Liverpool have the momentum?
It's their title to lose.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Saswat.
Okay. So all the Liverpool haters are saying Man City just lubricated, baptized, won 7-0, 8-0, something like that. So none of these happened. And also to answer specifically, I agree with Munta, and I also answer your question because Klopp actually totally did not get the team selection right by not playing Shaqiri and Fabinho. But I'll not get into that because you know all these facts.
Can you react? Yes or no? Can Liverpool react?
So I'm gonna answer that. So basically, not playing because you did not play Shaqiri, Fabinho, and Wijnaldum, which was your basic first team, which was your key for winning these games in December, and you went with a plan B, and you couldn't execute that plan B. Now you Klopp and their players are quite mature enough to go back to plan A and execute that plan A in each and every game. They knew that plan B couldn't work, so we will stick to our plan A. So that is how the Klopp and each and wait, let me finish. First of all,
I need you to tell me: can Liverpool react? Yes or no?
Yes, Liverpool will react. We obviously
will they win the league? Yes,
of course you'll say that.
Yes, they will win the league. Wait, let me finish. They will win the league, but I'm not saying that they have the momentum. Pep obviously has the momentum, but that doesn't mean that our momentum has been staggered. We are still in the comfortable position because our plan. Because our plan B did not work, but we have our plan A intact.
You guys love Liverpool too much, man.
Wait. Let me finish.
Let him finish. Let him land.
No one has figured out how to beat our plan A. Whenever we execute our plan A by playing 4-2-3-1 with Shaqiri and Fabinho, no one has cracked that code, and no one will crack that code, especially when Joe Gomez will come. That defense, because everyone is blaming Lovren. When Joe Gomez will come, that defense will be solid. And the reason why we bottled it in 2013 and 2014 because our defense was weak. Now our defense is the best in Europe. Let me repeat it again for every Liverpool hater out there. Our defense is the best in Europe.
Let me come in. I think that I keep telling people that this season is not going to be as straight and as obvious as people think. Now, the obvious thing is, City have the momentum, and even this is what I was saying before. Oh my gosh, whoever wins the league. City have the momentum, Liverpool will bottle and everything. But since I said, wait a minute, hang on. I believe that Liverpool will win their next Premier League game. Because FA Cup games once, I think they'll win the next Premier League game, and I think that why should we assume that City will win all the rest of their 17 games?
Hey,
So
have you seen my man Chris Hughton in Brighton, bro?
Nobody has.
I just feel that it's this could go down to the wire. The whole one dude saying that City are going to win by 10 points. I mean, that's you're smoking crack.
Let me jump in.
Smoking crack. But I just feel that Klopp really messed up because Klopp should have, because Liverpool, Klopp is in Pep's head.
No, he's not. Pep is in Klopp's head.
And Pep is afraid of Klopp because Pep knows that Klopp's philosophy is the antithesis to his philosophy.
Yes.
If Klopp played his plan A, they probably beat them. They would probably beat them. So, because look, if Palace can beat them at the Etihad, I'm sure Liverpool can. So, my thing is that it is wrong to assume that Liverpool will unravel because, again, as Saswat just said, this isn't that useless defense that they had in the 13-14 season, because that wasn't really a stable team. That was just a one-man team. This is a far more stable, much more resolute team. And I just think that, Liverpool may drop points, but are City not going to drop points? Can
I say something, please?
Go for it.
Okay. Let me say something, all right? The same 7 or 8 players has literally bottled so many finals. They've lost the Europa League finals. Yeah. They've lost Champions League finals. Mm-hmm. They've lost
Wait. Name the 7.
Listen, come on, man. Let me end.
Wait. Let him land.
Come on now. Okay. They bottled FA Cup. Last season they lost the League Cup. Tomorrow they could lose to Wolves. Wait. So think about it. Like, you have to start from somewhere.
You're basically telling that these are a bunch of losers. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
One thing is, that's the picture that
I would love Liverpool versus Barca.
Listen, you have to start from somewhere in order to win the Premier League. Chelsea did it in 2014-15. Last season, City did it. They won the Capital One Cup.
Okay, so Harko, why can't they prove you wrong?
What does it take?
Why can't Liverpool prove you wrong?
Because they're bottling so many chances. They bottled the Champions League finals. They bottled the League Cup finals.
First of all, our team got to the final.
It doesn't mean anything. You got to the finals, win the flipping thing.
Wait. Okay, I need some response for this. Okay, look, I'm going to go to Daniel, Manny, and then to Sas. Okay, Daniel, respond to these false accusations.
We didn't bottle anything. Bad situations happened in that final in the Champions League. We don't need to go. We don't need to go there.
It's called bottling.
No, it's not bottling.
It's called
bottling then. Bad situations.
Daniel, tell me how do you think that Liverpool can answer because everybody is counting them out. Everybody's saying that they will bottle.
And tomorrow we're facing Wolves and I want to win. Like people are saying that Paul Merson is opening his big mouth here. I don't know how he's still in punditry, saying that we should get out of all competitions and focus on the league and put eggs in all baskets.
Paul Merson was an alcoholic, so that's
I know. He's chatting rubbish. He's pissed. He's pissed. So he's saying that how we should focus on the league, and I'm like, no, we shouldn't. We should be going off. Like a lot of people are saying that we should like pick and choose what leagues. I'm like, we haven't won a league. We haven't won a trophy since 2012. 7 years. We have no ordained right. Yeah, we have no ordained right to be picking and choosing what trophy we should go after. So I'm like, every single competition.
What? No, that literally goes against what you're saying. You haven't won a trophy since 2012, so that therefore any trophy.
That's what I'm saying. Can I finish?
They should go for every trophy that they're in.
They're saying that we should get.
They're saying that.
No, then you should aim for any trophy so you have at least one.
Yeah,
exactly. That's what I kept saying.
That's what I'm saying. What Paul Merson said. People are saying that we should get out of the Champions League, the FA Cup. So we should.
It's
so
Red and
so-
Mutai and these guys who saying that. I understand what you're saying. Go on.
Listen, hardcore.
He's
Listen,
saying
hardcore.
that.
You don't have any facts to prove your point. You just
I have
walking around.
facts. Barcelona won the Copa del Rey last season, and we won La Liga, and we won the title. What do you say about that? We won the Copa del Rey last season, and we won La Liga, and we won the title.
Guys, I'm completely start meeting guys, man. Come on, we have to get some order.
Roma beat you 3-0, fam.
Wait. Okay, Mane. How
Tottenham beat us 3-0?
So, Mane, tell me, how sure are you that your
That's
team...
Roma, bro. We won trophies, though. We won trophies.
Yeah, because of the referee.
I'm going to start judging, guys. Okay, look, Mane. How sure are you that City won't drop points for the remaining 17 games?
It's not about dropping points. It's about who wins more. But people forget that Liverpool, they don't have to lose a game. They just have to tie. If they tie 2 or 3 games, each tie is dropping 2 points. Remember that. So it's really, if City can win more games than Liverpool, which I believe they will, they will win the league essentially. Liverpool don't have to necessarily lose. They just have to tie. But the other thing people forget as well is usually Liverpool, they can be great half of the season, but we haven't seen Liverpool great for the whole season. We haven't seen that. It's always a portion, a stretch of games where they start dropping points, and it's inevitable. Liverpool, when you look at that,
Liverpool have not yet struggled. They've not yet struggled. That is true.
Can I say something?
Sorry.
Let me finish.
Wait, man.
Let me finish. Okay, so it's inevitable. City already had that bad stretch. They can't get any worse than that. They already lost 2 or 3 games in a row to teams they shouldn't be losing to, and there's still 4 points within the grasp. Liverpool will have the stretch further into the season, which is way worse because that's when the pressure will be on. That's when the relegation teams will really be going for a draw. They'll park the bus playing those tough games. They might seem like tiny teams, but Liverpool will have a much harder time because they won't be attacking. It'll be they'll have to scratch against those games. And that's why I think City will win. City are more comfortable chasing from second. Liverpool are leading.
Can I respond?
Okay, go. Pardon, go.
Okay.
Sorry.
Mane was constantly repeating this term. Usually this happened. Usually that happened. But this is not usually. This is a new team. This is a new team with a fixed setup, with a solid setup, with a solid defense. I'm again repeating it. The best defense in Europe. A solid midfield, and to count also to midfield because we have a lot of problems. Everyone knows that we have a lot of problems in that midfield. And also there are players who will come up as substitutes, good players who have established themselves in this season as players who are clutch in each and every game, which is Shaqiri, Fabinho, and Wijnaldum. I don't need to go around. And we obviously have the deadliest front three in the Premier League. So you are trying to say that Klopp has actually in this season has set up 3 different tactical setups, and he has proved himself as 3 different tactical setups. Obviously, we were tested against Man City and we lost, and I definitely agree. But a team going for the title league who has 3 different tactical setups with a solid defense and also substitutes who can perform good as in the defense, have a solid midfield as a good substitute with good substitutes and established front three. So you are trying to say with all these we have all these check marks, and you are saying that Man City will not drop points because you have a belief, you have a fantasy that maybe Man City will go through. But Liverpool has proved themselves.
Okay.
Why?
Okay. Let me bring in. Okay, I'm gonna bring. Okay, so Ford. Okay, Ford. Add your experts' thoughtful, insightful analysis. I mean, bring us some expert analysis because I know that you're an intelligent soul. Talk.
Thank you. Again, obviously, Robin is a top 3 of all time. Look, I just want to add on to this here. Look, whilst Liverpool have, let's say, you can just say bottle things in the past, that isn't a prerequisite for what's going to happen in the future. It's a different team now.
Thank you.
Thank you,
my boy.
So even though
let him land, man.
Hey, relax, man. Don't talk shit when I'm talking, innit? Look, I'm a big Liverpool hater, you could even say. I don't really like Liverpool, and I hope they don't win the league. But again, you have to give them credit for what they're doing. Klopp's doing amazing things with them, and why is the AC Milan fan talking about them bottling things when they just got knocked out the Europa League by flipping Olympia?
Oh yeah,
yo, that's too much. That's too much. Come on now, boy. You gotta relax, yo. You gotta relax.
True, but below the belt.
Well, yeah.
The passing was
Um,
in
Dead
right now, I
team,
think.
fam.
so
Well, it
no,
is.
okay, but look, very quickly. Basically, my thing is this: is that
Mm.
I feel that Mane, I do respect your arrogance because that arrogance is ends when you are defending champions and you got 100 points and you broke all the records. So that arrogance is ends. But at the same time, be careful with that arrogance because I do believe that for Liverpool, they like this is the key thing. If Liverpool either lose or draw the next Premier League game, I believe it's over.
Yep.
If
Yeah, I agree.
Liverpool win the next Premier League game, let's pause. Because the key thing is how they react to that loss
Are they
in
playing
the
Brighton?
next game. So if Liverpool win the next game, I
I think
really
they're
believe
playing
that let's
Brighton.
pause unless
My face-
and maybe this
yeah,
team
Brighton.
is a lot stronger than what we think people really are. Because again, the key thing that football has taught us so many years is never assume. This is football. Like the danger that everyone is having that everybody's assuming that Liverpool will bottle, they'll unravel, they've lost, City will come back and they'll win. But as I keep reminding people, Pep chased once and he lost when he chased.
By
So,
1 point.
for what that's worth, when he chased, he lost. So this is a new. So hence why I said if City do win this, this will be Pep's greatest ever title win because it was the one in which he chased and he was able to overcome whilst chasing. Hence why Ferguson's win in that time when he chased Newcastle and when he won, that's probably one of his biggest ever title wins. But again, for me, it's like this is where for Liverpool, it's like how do you guys react? Because and the beauty about this is that we live in a social media world. And I'm sure that everyone in that Liverpool team are looking on social media and everybody is saying, oh my gosh, bottlers, they're going to bottle. Even so many friends were texting me and said, look at Liverpool bottle now. They're such bottlers. I'm like, if you're Mane, your Salah, your Van Dijk, and you see, that should motivate you. Because for City, they smell blood. City are like, my gosh, once we have the De Bruyne back, we ain't dropping any points. And not people say to City, look, guys, if we win every single game, these guys will feel the pressure. Because if we're winning every single game, it's like 5 games to go, and these guys are like 5 games towards winning the title, they will bottle. But for Liverpool, how do you react? How do you flip and react? So, before we end it, have you changed who you feel the title will go to, or did it still remain the same after the game?
Can I change it?
So, who did you say before?
Before I said Arsenal.
Said Arsenal, yeah.
What?
Yeah, I did. I know. No, but real talk. Half hope I did say Arsenal. I'm not even gonna lie, bro.
And then you have the cheek to be dissing our club.
Calm down. I'm a Barcelona fan, man. I'm a Barcelona
So,
fan.
so who are you saying will win it now?
Arsenal that don't even have a back.
I'm not an Arsenal fan. I'm a Barca fan. So
Yo, just give your answer.
Who do you think will win it now?
Right now, I think it's gonna be Man City. Because of the mentality and the experience they have, I feel like that's what's gonna. And they know how this was gonna take them through. And what a finish from Aguero. Aguero's first goal was out of this world.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. So who else has changed their pick after the game?
Liverpool are winning it, man. That's
Double
it.
H.
I'm rolling with Liverpool too.
The signs are there. Like, let me give you an omen.
Okay. Let me go to Red. So Red, what is your omen then?
So there's an omen where the only Man United have shifted manager was once mid-year, which was back in the 60s, and they scored in 4 consecutive games under a manager, and Liverpool won the season that league. So this year that happened the same thing. And just to remind you, Madrid was 7 points ahead of Barcelona. They beat us in the away. We tied the first leg. They beat us the second leg by they beat us in the second leg, and we still won the league. So just because they lost to their only rivals,
it's a different league, though.
It's not even a league. It's not even.
It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you guys are disrespecting Liverpool. They've played well. They've earned everybody's respect, and you can't just undermine them like that.
Played well, but it's hype. It's hype.
Mute his dudes, man. Yo, mute his mic.
Wait. Sorry, guys. I'll go to Southward and I'll go to forward. Southward.
So double H, I completely agree with you. As a Liverpool fan, I'm completely agree with you that if they win or draw, do not perform well in the next game, that does mean that they have been staggered, and I was wrong, and that means that Man City are in the front runners for the winning the title league. I will definitely agree with you. But as long as if they win, I with that statement, as if they win, then Liverpool are still the favorites.
Okay. So Mane, you still believing that City are going to go all the way?
Yeah. I just wanted to change my pick from back to back to treble season. Now I know we're gonna win the treble for sure. That's the only thing I gotta change.
You know what?
Can we get this guy drug tested, please?
No.
You gotta
Okay,
stop.
you know what's on that note?
What
I'm
are you
out. Well, guys,